Hey, Austin. JJ said you shot a 65 this summer. Do you think you could have helped the Ryder Cup team?
Man, I thought we was going to see one of the greatest comebacks in sports history yesterday. To my neighbors, I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a psychopath. I was yelling at the TV for 6 hours straight. Heartbroken when Russell Henley left that putt short. And, yeah, Shane Lowry stepped up and made a big putt. No, I don't think I could have helped the team. I did shoot a 65. It was one of those days, made every putt, hit the ball really well, obviously. So, yeah, but big shout out to our Ryder Cup team. They could have folded on that last day, but they didn't. They kept fighting, and that's a lot of respect to that.
JJ did follow up, though, by saying that he thinks you're in incredible shape, the burst, the athleticism, all that. And his coaches said you were the best player in the gym every time that you were in here. Like, what did you use your summer for, basketball-wise, and like where do you feel like that leaves you heading into this year?
I feel like I'm in a good spot. Spent a lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time on court. We played a lot of pickup. Just had a really, fun summer. It's fun to get in here and compete since, when season's over, you're kind of like it's time to relax, and then you get a month in and you miss competing. And just to get back in here and do that is a lot of fun, and can't wait for the season to start.
Austin Reaves, Brad Turner from the LA Times.
Good to see you.
Likewise. You played with LeBron for a few years now. What's it like playing with him? And have you had any conversation about his future, that word retirement?
After retirement?
About retirement. Have
About
you guys had any
retirement.
conversation on what's it like playing with him?
It's great. That was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to be in LA was to, hopefully at some point play alongside of him. It fast-tracked a little bit than what I think everybody thought. Was able to do that in year one and just grow, a real relationship with him, not just on the basketball court, but as a friend. Today was the first time I seen him since we got beat by Minnesota because I kind of fall off the grid after season. I go back home, and he's been traveling. And every time you see him, he's got a big smile on his face. He's the biggest kid in the room, has a great time, and you got to appreciate that for somebody that's been going at it for so long, 23 years. At some point you feel like the joy might not be there, but every time you see him, it reassures that he's here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to win. But I don't know about retirement. He might play for another 10 years.
2-2 to win with the LA Times. What do you think about LeBron's golf swing progress? You said that was his big thing he worked on this offseason.
Yeah, he told me this morning he made his first birdie the other day and said that it's one of the best feelings he's ever had in his life, which I can probably, if you've never played golf and you do one day and you have a birdie, you'll understand. It's getting better. It's still not great. I played with Bronny the other day, actually, and he's got a really good swing. And I texted Bron on hole 18 and was just like, I got all my money on Bronny. I'm putting the bank on it. So just having fun with it, but it's a work in progress.
And something JJ said this last week was saying he asked everyone to come in championship shape. He wants championship communication from you guys. Just what does that mean to you to be at that championship standard even before you guys enter this training camp, and how do you think that kind of sets the tone for this team?
I think that's, exactly what, you're kind of looking for is setting a tone from day one that we're here for, one thing and one thing only. And to do that, you have to be committed to, whatever it takes. You could go down a long list of things that, what it takes to win a championship or win at the highest level. And you've got to be committed to do those things. So anything that the coaching staff preaches, we as players have to, respect it and go do it at the best of our ability.
Austin, when we spoke with JJ on Thursday, he was asked about, you, LeBron, and Luka, the chemistry developing, working together. He mentioned that he had a meeting with Sean McVay, brought up utility plays, having you guys all involved. What can the chemistry of you guys meshing in that way, what can that do for this team? And what are your eagerness levels to get that chemistry further developed?
The eagerness levels are very high. I felt like we had, good synergy with the three of us last year towards the end of the year, and that's just basically being thrown in the fire of after the trade. You know, it was kind of go play basketball. You know, go figure it out, and because we didn't have a lot of time to really, you know, mesh that together. But I thought we did a really good job of that, and having this preseason to, you know, do just that will be really exciting, and I think that it'll really help our team a lot.
Austin, last season in the regular season, about half your shots were threes. In the playoffs, that jumped up to about 2/3 of your shots. So with that 3-point uptick and you playing a little bit more off the ball in the playoffs, how much of an emphasis was that for you this offseason in terms of catch and shoot or just off-ball play and you know, kind of figuring out the best way to fit with Luka and LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, that's been one of my biggest things since I got in the league is what can I do to help our team be successful? Is it this or whatever that might be is what, you know, I'm going to focus on the most. That doesn't mean that, you know, I push everything else to the side. You know, you obviously want to get better in all aspects, but yeah, whatever I can do to help our team be successful. I've had some really long talks with JJ about what that looks like, and we got a good idea what that is. So it'll be really fun to, you know, go through that figuring it out mode. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about basketball is nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you can always, you know, twist and turn things to try to get there.
Austin, right. There's at least some perception around people who look at the fit of the roster that you and Luka long term might not be a great fit, but, you know, just because there's duplication offensively and maybe some of your weaknesses defensively kind of overlap or whatever it might be. First of all, do you agree with that? But also, too, how do you work around those kinds of things when you do have sort of similar skill sets with the players you play with?
I mean, I think the one thing that, you know, the positive that you can take is, you know, we have a lot of skill on the floor. You have a lot of different, you know, rotations you can go with obviously with, you know, Luka and Bron in particular, you know, you can always have, you know, one of those two and then throw me on the court at any time with many different lineups. So I feel like that's one way that you can, you know, figure things out. And then as far as the, you know, the people that say it can't work, I believe that, you know, at one point last year when we were all playing together with the roster that we had, everybody was, you know, really high on us and everybody thought that we had an opportunity to win a championship. So when you lose one, you know, series, the way that we lost it, we obviously didn't play the way that we wanted to. I didn't play the way that I wanted to. It's frustrating, but, you know, before that, when we was, you know, had our 20 games together, you know, everybody in the media and everything was saying, oh, this team can compete for a championship. So I don't know why that changes off of one series.
Austin, DeAndre told us that he thinks this is the biggest opportunity that he's ever had in his career and that he's angry. What does he do for this team's ceiling? And if you guys get the best version of him, how important can that be for your guys' championship aspirations?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Once again, it's a really talented basketball player that, you know, I got the opportunity to play a couple pickup sessions with him here. And just the, you know, the skill level, the way he, you know, communicated on defense was very, very, I was very happy about. And it's something that, you know, we needed last year in spurts. But yeah, just like you said, just, you know, pick and roll presence, you know, lob threat. And then, like I said, somebody that can, you know, knows how to communicate on defense and be in the right spots will be really big for us.
Hey, Austin. Obviously, you just mentioned DeAndre and some of the other additions, listening to Marcus Smart up here and Jake LaRavia we'll get a chance to listen to. Just what did you make of the entire offseason and how the roster gets ready for this upcoming season based on the additions?
Yeah, I think it was a really good, you know, off season. You know, like you said, bringing in Marcus, someone that's, you know, super competitive that, you know, competes on every possession, and then bringing in Jake and then DeAndre. I honestly think Jake's going to have a really, really, really good season. You know, his size, his speed, his athleticism, you know, he can guard almost every position on the floor. I think if you go back and watch him when he was in Memphis or the little short stint he had in SAC, he had, really, really good performances, not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, being active, getting deflections and stuff like that. But I feel like it's, we added some pieces that we really needed, and we have really high hopes.
Austin, this is Sport 24. Hiya, okay.
How we doing?
For you, what is it that makes Los Angeles such a special city?
There's a million different things. Obviously, the Lakers organization is one of those, and I grew up a Kobe fan, so I was, automatically a Lakers fan. And just to, for it to come full circle and me to be here, for the fans to treat me the way that they've treated me since day one has been special. Obviously, the year-round good weather that I can go golf is a bonus. Traffic is but there's so many, good things. Food's great. When I first came out here, I never thought that I would really enjoy it, but ever since I've been here, it's been like a second home to me. Appreciate y'all.